Hello, darlings. I am Cassandra. Welcome and welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming. So, guys, I am giving you my 5-week update on Success Magic by Damon Brennan. I'm going to share so much with you about my process, where I am, what I'm getting out of it so far. I'm so excited. I'm so pumped. I cannot wait to share this with you. I'm trying to beat midnight because I want to stay within week 5. So this is Success Magic by Damon Brennan. It's a Nokian magic, and he didn't create the system, but they updated this type of magic. I really don't want to get into those details because he explains it extremely well in the book, and I'm not well versed enough to really explain it to you. But this is a magic system, and you do each ritual for 7 days, and it's 49 rituals. And I am on the last day of ritual 5. And I'm going to continue to give you guys updates on where I am. I want you to see. I get really excited and then I lose my focus. So I want you guys to accompany me on this journey with Success Magic and see how I blossom, right? Because I think each week I'm becoming a different person, and I know I'm not going to look back and say, I'm not going to be, how can I say this? If I look back in time and try to convey to you what I was going through, it would be very artificial, as opposed to me giving you a play-by-play in the moment. So that's what we're doing. So this is the book, and I want to read to you a little bit where he talks about when you want to dabble, experiment, or pick and choose the best rituals. So he has several other books where you say you might want to increase sales, or you might just want to work on your confidence or whatever, but you can pick that particular ritual and work on that particular problem. But for this Success Magic book, you are being asked to complete all 49 rituals for 7 days each, right? Excuse me. So I'm a little nose falling out, y'all. But this is really cracking me up. He says it is possible to read the book and choose 1 or 2 rituals that you feel would meet your needs. You can take what you want and see what happens, but shortcuts like that will impact your magic. Now, now what tickles me about this, guys, is, I am a psychology teacher and sociology. And so when students ask, like, where is the answer located in the book or on the text, they just want to get straight to the answer. They don't want to read the whole chapter. They don't want they don't want to do anything extra. Like, just tell me what the answer is. And I'm thinking to myself, you pay for this class and you're not curious. You're not curious about the entire chapter or the whole book. I mean, I don't get that. So, I have no desire to skip a single ritual or a single day. But also, it tickles me because my granddaughter, my sweet thing, she calls me Grambo, and I know she's my grandchild because we don't like to read instructions or follow rules. So when she received, I think it was it wasn't a skateboard, but it was a motorized something where you need a helmet, and she had never used it before, and she didn't want to figure out how to use it. She just wanted to go. And she's like her grandpa. Let me go to the emergency room. Let me get treatment 4 or 5 times before I can decide where are those instructions. Yeah, but not this time. So, I'm so happy that I want to follow rules. I'm at a point, I've been like that for a while, but he does warn against it, and I love how he has it in italics. He said, yeah, he said, of course, many readers will ignore this advice and will pick a couple of rituals that seem right. That's fine as long as you accept that it's your experiment. And he has your in italics. That just cracked me up. And so he's pretty much saying, look, if you don't want to follow the rules of the book and the way the book has laid it, this magical system is laid out, that this is your experiment and you can't really say if the magic is working for you or not. And anyway, I like that. So basically, guys, it's not the kind of book where if you can't commit to the few moments, probably about 5 minutes, if that, in the morning, to perform each ritual, then maybe, I don't want to say it's not for you. I'm just going to tell you that I completed the Wealth Magic program twice, because the first time I accidentally used the wrong sigil. I mixed them up, and yes, a being did come to visit me and let me know that I mixed it up, and it was a very scary experience. Okay, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I was all ready for that. I was like, who is this? Yeah. So anyway, I like the fact that that it's an everyday thing. I love having something. I look forward to it, and I can see already how it has impacted my life. So I want to tell you, I have a video up from, I'm going to actually create a playlist so you can see, so you can follow the different weeks. But let me tell you about week 5. Let me tell Cassandra, pull it in, girl. Pull it together. See, I get excited, and then I can't remember my notes. I can't remember what I was going to talk about because I'm so excited. So week 5, which I'm on the last day of week 5. So one of the things I've noticed is that I've been getting a lot of quality sleep. Like, I'm not typically the type of person who sleeps. If I get 4 hours, that's pretty good for me. And when I sleep, I'm not even in a deep sleep. It's kind of like a shallow sleep where I know what's going on. I'm always kind of, tired, or I'm thinking about my next project or what I need to do, or if I need to grade, or whatever is going on with my life. But sleeping, not for Cassandra. Y'all, let me tell you something. When I drink my coffee, I like my coffee strong. I like my tea strong. My coffee, I add instant coffee. Yeah, instant strong coffee to my already brewed coffee. Then I add mushroom coffee to that. So my coffee is super strong. I have not changed my coffee habits. I drink tea when I probably have about 15 tea bags. But it's hibiscus, it's ginger, peach, and then it's a green tea, a black tea, maybe a passion fruit. Long story, I'm still consuming the same amount of caffeine. But let me tell you something. When it is time for me to go to bed, I didn't know that, people could actually get sleepy. So when I was getting sleepy, I thought, like, I'm under attack. Somebody's trying to curse me again. Right? Somebody's trying to curse me. Like, what is this? Why am I sleepy? And then I started thinking, well, maybe I need to go to the doctor because I'm coming down with something. Because who does this? Who sleeps like this? Like, I'm not a bum, So I'm being really honest. So I realize I'm getting this good deep sleep. My friends are like, hey, I called you, and I'm like, I didn't hear my phone. I didn't know anyone who was calling me, because I have been enjoying this rich, deep, juicy sleep where you wake up with the crust in your eyes and you're really asleep. So I know, and guys, look, I'm talking about decades and decades and decades of not being able to sleep. And I have not changed a single other thing in my life other than the fact that I am doing the ritual. And I also read the Bible, and I do the sword banishing in the morning. But the sleep has been delicious. I have been, the sleep, and when it comes, and I used to just maybe take a little nap at the dining room table and fight it off like, no, like I got things to do. But this sleep, it's like, no, you going to bed. So now it's just like, I'm like, let me go brush my teeth because my baby sleep gonna be here in a minute, right? So that's one. But that's just, oh my God, let me tell you what happened. Okay, let me get it together, y'all. Okay, Cassandra. So when I perform my ritual for the success magic, what I like to do is I have a spiral notebook here and my little notebook, and I like to draw pictures and I like to write, but you'll see a lot of drawings. When you draw, it stimulates your right hemisphere where your imagination lies. And then when you write, it stimulates or responds to your left hemisphere. And when you write and draw together, it brings them together. The corpus callosum is this band that holds the left and the right hemisphere together. And it is a really good technique to help you access your imagination, which is a very fertile ground for coming up with new ideas. So don't forget this. It's really cool to draw pictures and to write. So it is really good. Like if you feel like, oh, I don't know what to write, draw like circles and then write inside of the circles. Or sometimes I have like some white paper plates, the really cheap ones, not the little flimsy ones, the paper like ones. I like to draw on paper or write on paper plates because it's a circle, and circles stimulate your creativity. And sometimes when the brain sees straight lines or like just a notebook, you sometimes don't know what to write. It feels intimidated, like, oh, what am I supposed to say, because it's linear. But if you draw circles and write in those circles and be very creative and very loopy, you'll be surprised at the ideas that flow through you. And then I like to use the paper plates because they're white and they are circles, and they actually, the brain wants to dump onto the surface. It sees almost like this canvas, and it sparks your creativity, and it feels free expressing itself. So I'm just saying that for me personally, when I do the rituals, I like to meditate, do my yoga breaths in the morning. And my yoga breaths are, okay, I take a breath in to the count of 9. You just count it on your fingers. I have 2 bowls of marbles, and I have 50 marbles. And when I'll select a marble, taking a breath to the count of 9, I'll hold that breath to the count of 9, and then I release that breath to the count of 9 in the other bowl until I'm done. Now I'm doing 50. I was doing 80. But I think they were making me, I don't know, for some reason I felt like I was getting really tired in the morning. So 50 seems to be an okay number for me to still have enough energy to do other stuff. And then I also do I think they call it a dragon breath. But anyway, so I do this in the morning after I do my success magic ritual. And I do all this before I get out of bed, before I do anything else. And then I like to sit and meditate, and then I like to write the day, the date, and the time, and the ritual. like whatever ritual number I'm on. So I'll say day 1 of 7, day 2 of 7, day 3 of 7, and the title of the particular ritual. And then I'll just, draw pictures or just write or whatever. So anyway, that's my system. That's how I'm able to make sure that I, just keep notes and just see where my head is. So now what I'm really excited about, guys, is, so as you guys can see, I love to make dolls. I love making dolls. Okay, do I need to tell you that, right? So you see the dolls behind me. This is not even the beginning of my dolls. I have so many other dolls in my house. It is redonkulous. Like they're everywhere, and they're just different sizes. They're different. I've made over 1,000 dolls, and I'm a self-taught doll maker. Mainly because when I started making dolls in my late 40s. In my late 40s, yes. I didn't know how to read patterns, and so I started on a whim. So that I didn't even know patterns existed. I just decided, let me just draw something. We're gonna make this doll, and then it was like an addiction. Then I said, oh, let me see if anybody else is making dolls. But then when I purchased the books, I was like, I don't even know what they're talking about. Like, what do you mean wrong side? And then when you pull out like a ruler, it's like, oh my God, that's a number. I don't like numbers and measuring. So long story short, I taught myself how to make dolls because I didn't know how to read patterns, and I don't, so I kind of developed outside of how most probably doll artists make their dolls. But anyway, so I know that I love them, but I really, and I like, and I sell them on occasion. I guess I could sell more if I marketed them more that way. But when I sell a doll, it's like I become devastated, and I'm just like, oh my God, I miss you, I love you, why you have to leave me, I'm crying, like for real. So anyway, this is what has come to me. Okay, this is what has come to me. So what has come to me, and I know it's from this Magick, because I would have thought of it sooner, is I have created a book series, a magical dolls book series for feng shui. And for each area of feng shui, the dolls, they have like the journal questions, there's a herbal recipe, there are oh God, it's really a program. So if you're looking, let's just say for your career area, because I'm almost finished with that one, because I'm actually working on 4 at the same time, and when I'm so much fun. Oh my God, I love putting together, and I'm doing the videos, which is a step-by-step teaching people how to make the dolls. And in the first series, I'm keeping the dolls very simplistic. So all a person would need to make the doll is felt and a needle and thread, because I want a person who doesn't have a background in sewing, or if they don't know how to operate a sewing machine, to still enjoy the art of doll making. But I'm calling them magical art dolls because of the herbs and the gemstones and the sigil, and I'm just, it's just like a whole program, each doll. This is all because of this book. It's like it's pulling my whole life together, right? So Mr. Brand Gallery of Magic, I'm so in love with you guys. Okay, all right, so that all came to me, and now you gotta remember, this is something I've been working on for a very long time. So the other thing is, after I meditated, and another thing, guys, I like to write on black paper. If somebody's super nosy, I don't want anybody in my business, but yeah. So I like black paper with white ink. I like the gel pens. I don't know why, but I'm writing book 4 in this format, and I love it. It's something so magical about this format. I don't know why, but anyway. So after, I think this was the 4th day of Ritual 5, this is what I wrote, okay? And I didn't say it in this video. I'm going to read it to you. It's a little stale. I'm not sure if I want to, I'm not sure how I want to present this, but this is what came to me, okay? As an opening, as an intro. Hello, darlings. I am Dr. Cassandra, a magical doll art therapist who will help you transform your life to the next level by reuniting you with your creative genius inner child. To help you enjoy the 4 P's, more passion, more purpose, prosperity, and peace, by sharing and reviewing metaphysical tools and my own personal magical experiences with you. In this age of artificial intelligence, it is essential for you to create handmade art using your head, your heart, and your hands collaboratively, and to honor the uniqueness of what it means to be human. I have 5 college degrees, 13 years experience as a social worker therapist. I have been a full-time sociology and psychology professor for 23 years, and I'm a self-taught doll maker who has made over 1,000 dolls, and I know that I can help you tap into your creative inner genius, inner child, or whatever I wrote here. So I wrote this like literally after the 4th day, Ritual 5. Yes. Now I'm going to clean it up. I'm not going to, but can you see how it's shaping me, molding me? It's pulling all parts of me together so far. I think that I've struggled because I live in between 2 worlds. I live in the world as an artist, and then there's a mainstream world where I'm a teacher, right? And the world I was a social worker, and to me, trying to walk the line of sanity and insanity, mainstream, and the world of magic, and it's been very challenging for me. But creating these magical doll systems or programs, and I'm so, gosh, I cannot wait to show it to you. Sorry, I'm so excited. And doing it, and that feng shui is a big part of my life. Using my therapy background, which is a part of the journaling exercises, teaching people just everything that I know, and then I've completed how to make the hair, the eyes, the lips, and then just I'm recording each session where you can see exactly what I'm doing. I'm explaining all the different types of herbs and how to use them, how to bring this doll to life, how to communicate with the doll. It is just so bomb. And so anyway, guys, I'm gonna see you next week. Let me pull this book up again. Okay. Magick, Success Magic by Mr. Brand. I'm so honored. Thank you so much for creating this or updating this magic. I'm so happy to participate in this. And you know what else I realized is that my life is exactly where it should be. It is exactly where it should be. Like, for a long time I kind of felt like, now let me just be clear. I know sometimes because I'm always talking about being a millionaire, I'm probably, I'm not putting my financial business in the streets, but I'm not what people would consider, you know what I'm saying. Okay. But I've always kind of felt like, why is everything so hard for me? Why have I not accomplished more in terms of material success? But I realize that when you are trying to help people, you have to be where they are, right? In order to be able to connect with them, in order to be able to move them forward. So I want to share this story with you before I go. So guys, I don't know, for those of you who don't know, now I always hated school. I used to skip school. When I took my general education diploma, my GED out of high school, I had 9th grade credit hours. And I used to skip school. You couldn't make me go. I was grounded annually. My mother, no telephone, you can't have company. But both of my parents worked in a factory, so I was accustomed to, I knew I could, hey, sneak out the house. I knew when I could sneak out the house. I knew I could sneak my friends over when my parents were at work. I had developed a very comfortable life being grounded annually, and I do mean annually. And my parents did everything they could to try to encourage me to go to school, to go to, and I would feel bad, you know what I mean? The beatings, the beatings with the extension cords. Why are you throwing your life away? I'm just like, I hate school. I don't like it. It's just boring. I don't like the teachers. I don't like the kids. I just never fit in. So anyway, a Little Caesars was, they built a Little Caesars down the street from where I grew up. And it was like I think this is when Little Caesars was, pizza was just on the scene. And so anyway, when I would go to pick up the pizza, there was an older guy there, and his name was Frank. And he said, "Hey, do you want a job here?" I'm like, no. Even though I was grounded, my dad was still giving me an allowance. I had a good life. Yeah, I was interested in working. He was like, "Hey, flexible hours. You get some job experience." I'm like, I'm not. Not only am I skipping school, I have no desire to work because I plan on being a country music singer, and yeah, that was my dream. Me and Conway Twitty, we're gonna do a duet one day. Trust me. No, I'm not doing this. But anyway, so he kept, every time I would go, he would say, "Hey," he would give me an application, I would lose it. And then he would say, "Hey, what's going, please, you would love it here at Little Caesars." So I said, "Okay, I don't have a social security number. I don't know." He said, "Ask your mom, you probably have one." At the time, I'm like, "Ma, I need the social security number so I can finally fill out this 20,000 application from Little Caesars. This way he can stop bothering me." So I fill out the application and I start working immediately, right? And it wasn't bad. It was kind of fun, actually. So I remember one Sunday, Frank and I were making pizza together. I had probably been working there maybe about 3 months. And we were making pizza together side by side, and he was telling me that he had, like, most of his teeth was rotten. He probably had about 3 or 4 teeth left, and they were rotten. And he said, "My mouth is really bothering me, and I wish I could go to the dentist, but I can't," he said, "because I don't have any dental insurance." And he said, I'm 57 years old. I hated school, and now I can't even go get my mouth fixed." And he was just telling me just how he was in so much pain, and tore me up. Now I'm like 17. 18 years old. When he said he always hated school, I said, me too. It's so boring. I said, I hate school too. And he said, yeah. He said, now I can't even go to the dentist. I'm here making pizza. And at the time we were making $3.35 an hour. Guys, rocked my world, tore me all. There was no beating, no punishment, no whippings, no scoldings, no cursing out. There was nothing that tore me up like that conversation. He was not trying to inspire me. I don't believe he wasn't trying to lecture me about going to school. He was sincere. We never looked up from making the pieces. We passing each other, looking at the tickets and making the pieces together. And I walked home from Little Caesars that day, and I cried. I was so mad at God. I was like, God, you play so much. I hate school. I hate school, God. I hate school, and I have no talent. I can't sing. I can't dance. And can't wait 20 years and call me. I'm going to be 57 years old working at Little Caesars. And I won't be able to go to the dentist with no teeth in my mouth. I'm bawling my heart out. Bawling. I'm going to be 57 with no teeth working at Little Caesars, and I can't go to the dentist. And I don't know what to do with my life, God. I do not know what to do with my life. And I cried. I cried so hard. And then I decided I'm going to go to Henry Ford Community College. And at that point I had all F's, so I needed to retake all the classes. And I told my mother for 2 or 3 days I wouldn't even leave my room. I just cried and cried. I was like, God, but I hate school so much, but I don't know what else to do. I just don't know what to do. So my only motivation was, I just don't know what to do. I just know what I don't want. So every time when I was taking these classes, I didn't have a plan. I didn't know, I wasn't thinking, I'm going to be a teacher. I'm going to be a social worker. I'm going to be a doctor. I was just thinking, I just don't want to be 57 years old with no teeth and can't go to the dentist with no health insurance. That's all I was thinking. For years, I was aimless. I took classes that appealed to me, things that I thought was interesting, but I was still just lost. I just didn't know what to do with my life. I feel like that man, Frank, was an angel, because he insisted that I fill out the application. He never stopped. I feel like God put him there. God put that man. God put him in that store. God put an angel in Little Caesars to get to me. And the magic that he worked was something that nobody else could do. My parents can do it. Even when I took my GED, the GED counselor insisted that I fill out the financial aid forms. Guys, what I'm saying is, when you are on a journey to your dreams, I need to know where you're going. Just go. You don't need to know. You don't need to have this elaborate plan. And I really think that if you don't know what it is that you want to do, this book is probably going to be a really good start for you. And it has really soft energy, and I love Mr. Brand's writing style. His sentence structure to me is so crisp and clean and encouraging and inspiring. I love his writing style. It's not convoluted with extra words, because I think I overwrite sometimes with unnecessary words, but his writing style is so clean. You don't need to know. That man Frank probably was thinking. He was probably thinking he threw his life away, or Or maybe he was thinking, oh, I'm just 57 years old, working at Little Caesars with no teeth. I think about all the thousands of students and lives I've touched. I was a social worker for 13 years. We're all here to inspire and help each other. And we are where we're supposed to be. But the trick is to just keep moving. You think you have all the answers. You don't need the answers. You just need to move. So even with the little intro that I was reading to you guys, my love for making dolls and my therapy background and working with people and working with my hands. Anybody who's had me as a teacher, I always try to do hands-on projects because I think research shows that it helps you retain the information better. Look, I am pulling together all parts of my life, moving to the next phase, right? But I didn't have this idea. This is not something I thought about doing, but I can see where the pieces are coming together, and I am so excited to see you for the next update for Ritual 6. Thank you so much for watching.